Have you ever faced this issue of indentation error while running this Python code in your Jupyter notebook or in your script, Python script? So, if not, that's good. But if you have faced this, then this is a very common thing, and generally it happens if you don't know anything about indentation in Python, because this is the kind of a very important aspect in Python programming language. So with that, let's get started. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Akash Thing. And today we are going to continue our learning on the Python playlist. So in our last video, we have covered about how to write Python code, getting started with that, creating the .py file and .ipnv file, the Jupyter notebooks, and how to write code or write print statement in that. So today we are going to understand about the basic Python syntax and the indentation issue that generally people face. So without wasting any time, let's jump into our VS Code, and here I have opened the Jupyter notebook for you guys. So you can read the statement. Python, how you code looks and how your code works are the same thing. And this is what the expectation with which the inventor of this Python has invented this, because he wanted a simple language to basically write the code which should match, or at least have very much familiarity or commonality with our uh, natural speaking language, right? Like English or Hindi. So with that, let's try to write a simple statement. Let's say I defined a score variable. If you don't understand, it's fine. We will cover these things in our upcoming classes. Now I'm writing a if statement. So if score is greater than 70, print success. Now I run this command. I run this code basically, and you see the error. We got this indentation error here. So let's try to understand why this error came, and let's try to interpret this error. So indentation error is a error which comes when the indentation is not appropriate in Python. So by indentation, it means like if you have used any other programming language, they used to write curly braces like this, and then inside this, they used to write condition like print success, something like this. Yeah. And above this, they may have some conditions like true, then print this. So this is how they, like in most of the programming language, be it Java or C++, we have this kind of syntax. Now in Python, to make it simple, they have done what? They replaced this curly braces. And since anyway, even though people are giving curly braces, but they are also having this indentation thing here. So basically, this this particular piece, this particular space that we are seeing here. So what the thought is like, why should we have to, or like, why should we make it complicated? Let's just remove the curly braces, and let's just keep the indentation. That will itself tell that, okay, there is a indentation, and so there is something that we need to execute, right? So let's try to understand it with a simple example. For example, if we want to make, let's again take the kitchen example. So if I want to make, let's say, paneer butter masala, uh, paneer butter masala, what I have to do? I have to, how I will write this in my, even in my book, right? So I will write from here that buy paneer, and then again buy masala, and then cook for some time, and then this is ready. Like this is how we used to write even in our recipe, right? So what this tell that if you want to do something, then these are the steps that you need to follow, and then only you will be able to make your paneer butter masala, right? So similarly, in Python also, when we try to write the code, especially the functions like uh, mainly defining a function in Python, or creating a if else statement, or initializing a for loop or while loop. So for all these kind of operations, we need to have a kind of a function that helps us understand, okay, this is the piece of code that you need to run or execute, and then you have to come out of it and like work as usual. So that's where this error is coming. Now let's come back to this error. So here you can see what the error message is: expected an indented block. So where is our indented block? There is no indented block, right? Because all are in the same line. There is no space after that. So what it is saying, that after if a statement on line 2, basically this line, it is expecting a indentation. Now let's try to add indentation. So how we can add indentation? So generally, according to PEP 8 recommendation, we should have 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now if I try to run it, you can see I got the like values and it's not giving any error. So this is the thing about indentation. So let's try to uh, define it. Basically, what we can call it is a three syntax kind of three syntax rules, you can say, in Python, which tells that the first syntax will be a colon, second syntax can be the start of the code block, and third syntax can be end of the code block. So if we try to write another if a statement, it should be like a score equal to 10, then if score is greater than 70, then again I will come in and then print success, and then I can add more. So this is where our code block started. Okay, and we can add more print like so we can add like test pass, and then we can come out or end this code block and we can print something like test completed. Now if I run this code block, you can see it is just printing test completed because this condition is not met, and hence these two code blocks which are a part of this if statement is not running. Now if I change it to 80, then you can see all the three statements are getting printed. So this is what is the important thing that we need to consider. Again, for loop, we will have again a similar kind of thing, and other operations as well, kind of functionality. We can have similar understanding for that. Okay, so now let's try to understand the pip 8 that we have, kind of a kind of rule or syntax that everyone across the Python community tries to follow, and it's kind of a general understanding that uh, we should try to write our Python code in this format so that everyone and anyone with whom we can share this, they should be able to understand. Just like if there like if on a highway, consider this pipette as a highway, and there is two lane, right, going and coming. Now if someone is driving in opposite direction on the like going way, then he can still go, but it will cause inconvenience for others, right? Because like the direction is there for a specific region so that everyone will be convenient, like we can travel conveniently and on time as well without any accident. So if someone tries to do it opposite or is out of that rule, then it will create problem for others. So with that, let's try to see the PEP. So here let's try to search PEP 8 and let's open this Python documentation on PEPs. So here we can see like this is the author and he has considered these things and based on that it is defined. So it's very old, you can see. And what this document is about, like here we can see it. Mm, a style guide is about consistency. So consistency with this style guide is important, and consistency within a project is more important. If you are working on a project, then consistency can help you achieve your goal faster, writing your codes and functions faster and easily, like you can share it within your team. And consistency within one modular function is also very important. So this is like most important especially. So this is where like this rule is all about, and there are mainly four things that we need to worry about. So yeah, so those four things are like you can say it like first is indentation. So for indentation we should follow four space to four, like this space, and then anything that we can write in Python. So like this. Second is the maximum length. So generally, in one line of code, we should try to restrict the number of characters to be within, I think, 79, or like at least max less than 100. So that it should be readable easily if we open multiple modules in the same VS Code or somewhere, right? And third, it is like the naming convention. So generally in Excel, whenever business person or someone writes the names, it they write it like business and then group, or business and then without a space group. But this is not the recommended one. The recommended one is like it should follow a snake kind of order. So we can keep using underscore and keep attaching the name as much as possible. So this is the third thing, and the fourth thing is whenever you are writing any logic or any function, you try to add new like lines of a space. So one line gap and two line gap, and then the function, and then again leave at least two lines of gap. And for some logic, you can just have one line gap and then the logic if x is greater than b, then something, and then line of gap, so that it becomes easier for anyone to read or understand the code. So same thing we can just try to see here if it is. So you can see the indentation thing. It is there in detail also. So the four space thing, and there are other things also. If you have time, you can go through this. Then the maximum line, you can see line length. So 79 character is a maximum. But yeah, in some cases, like you can extend it also. But this is like generally followed. And then blank lines. So this is the thing. So we should have at least single line or two line gap between the functions. So yeah, you can go through all of these, but yeah, on high level, those are the four important things that we should be remembering every time whenever we are trying to write a code. Now let's try to understand the indentation problem, that like how like problematic that this can become. So let's try to take an example where what we will do is like we will try to give an alert whenever the stock goes out of like uh, let's say my stock is number go below 10, the quantity of my like stock goes below 10, then we will raise a alert. Otherwise, we will not raise a alert, so that like the owner can buy more or purchase more orders, so that his stock out does not happen. So for that, let's try to write the stock equal to 100, and if a stock is greater than, sorry, if stock is less than 10, then checking stock and then low stock. Okay. Now, if we remove this indentation, we know like there will be error for sure. And we got this error again because of the if needed a indented thing. Now, if we add the indentation, you can see uh, this has not printed anything because the stock is already good. So if we reduce it to maybe 8, then you will see that checking stock and lower stock. Now, the serious thing that can happen is like instead of getting an error, it does not generate the alert. If you remove the indentation, now you can see it is just saying, uh, like lower stock. But even if you have 80, then also it will say lower stock. See. So now, even though you have enough quantity in your stock, still you are going to order again and again and again, and this can lead to a real problem, right? So just because of this one indentation, this thing is happening. Now, one important thing that I also wanted to cover is like how you can give indentation. So generally, when we are coding in VS Code or in any Python-based platform, if we hit tab or if we give 1, 2, 3, 4 a space, both are going to work. But the recommended way is to use 4 space, but just to save time, I think we just give tab or it automatically takes here. So one situation where I face this error, I will just try to show you. So let me just copy this thing and let me create a test.py file here and let me paste it here. Now, what I will do, I will just remove the tab and I will add 4 spaces. And in this case, I will remove a space and just add tab. So now you can see both are two different things. And let's try to keep it 8 so that this go into this loop. Now let's try to open the terminal and try to run this. So how we can run Python and then test.py. So let's see if it runs or it fails. So you can see it ran. No error came. Now the same thing I will try to do not here but in the notebook. So last time I told like you can write in any editor. So just the same thing. And this time again let's try to give tab and then the spaces 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see like when I gave tab, it took like almost 8 spaces automatically. So that is the thing I am trying to show. Now let's save this with test1.py. Saved and let's try to run it. Let's see if it gives error or not. See, you got the error, right? And if you open this file in VS Code, you will also see the red color highlighted one. Although you can see the space is same here, right? But it's not same. Here you can go 4 level, but in the above one, you can just have 1 level. So that's where, uh, in case like this kind of scenario you may face, so that's where it's very important that tab is not the recommended thing, but 4 spaces is something that Python understand as indentation. Now let's close this and yeah, let's try to also understand some of the common syntax that we try to follow in Python. So for one is like generally we write Python function using a small uh, cases. So that's what we can see here. If we replace a small with capital, then it will give error. That is one thing. Second is like if we are writing some condition like score equal to 10, and if we are writing if a score greater than 10, print success. Now we can also write without this space, but this is not the right way according to PEP. So generally we should include a space here. And here we don't include a space. This is not recommended. Here you can remove the space. So this is simple syntax thing that uh, people try to follow. Then the other common syntax thing is when we have to create, like Python is mainly for single line execution. So if we want to create two variables, I can do this and y equal to 7. So this created those two variables, right? So I can see both print x comma y. You can see 5 7 is coming. Now the same thing can be done differently as well. So for example, I can just write this and can just add semicolon. So this will also work. Let me just change the value so that we can see the change. And now let's see. So here it's working, right? But this is not the recommended way according to PEP standard. So generally we should write like this. So yeah, I think this was all I wanted to discuss about indentation, and try to write your code just like, because like it's you are writing it once, but you will be going to read it multiple times while debugging or while some error will happen in the production kind of scenario. So it's very important to write your code in that standard way so that you can easily figure out where the issue can be. And with that, I think let's conclude today's video. So on indentation and Python syntax. And in my next video, I will try to come up with understanding of commenting and different types in which we can comment in the Python. And yeah, we will explore that. So with that, thank you very much, and like, subscribe, and share.